Let's be honest with each other for a second. It's not every day the government actually backs down. Usually, once they take a slice of the pie, they come back for the whole pan. But after the political earthquake in 2025, something genuinely wild happened. Firearms that you and I thought were gone for good, buried under mountains of red tape and bureaucratic nonsense. We're talking suppressed rifles, braced pistols, and those awesome legal loophole guns. They actually started popping up on store shelves again. The games were over, the guesswork gone. It was just clean approvals for the gear we've all been waiting years to get our hands on. So today, we are taking a hard look at 8 firearms that are officially back in business, thanks to a Justice Department that finally slammed the brakes on the overreach. And look, these aren't just your standard range toys with a fresh coat of Cerakote. We are talking about platforms that used to take a year of waiting and a permission slip to own, PDWs that were basically illegal overnight, and even some designs that went to court against the feds and actually won. If you love guns that push the limits, or if you've just been waiting for that green light to grab something that felt untouchable, this list is for you. Let's dive into the top 8 firearms making a massive comeback under the new administration, starting with the People's Champ, a subgun that's finally getting the respect it deserves. Number 8. CZ Scorpion 3 Plus Micro. We're kicking this list off with a gun that honestly belongs in every American's safe. You don't always need a $4,000 boutique rifle to get the job done. Sometimes you just need a simple, reliable 9mm subgun with good bones. That is the CZ Scorpion 3 Plus Micro. If you've been in the game a while, you know the Scorpion design has been around since the Cold War. But this new micro version is a pure modern fighting machine. They finally fixed the grip angle, thank God, gave it a flared magwell for faster reloads, and slapped on a cold hammer-forged 4.2-inch barrel. It's short, it's light, and the straight blowback action makes it a fantastic host for a suppressor. But here's why it's on the list. The brace crackdown almost killed this platform. Do you remember when the ATF was floating that insane idea of reclassifying braced pistols like this as short-barreled shotguns? Yeah, shotguns. That legal mess had CZ fans holding their breath. But as soon as the brace rule got torched in 2025, the Scorpion snapped right back into action. It's a pistol again. No stamp, no confusion, no waiting. For around $1,300 street price, it undercuts almost all the high-end options, and it's just an absolute blast to shoot. Whether you're clearing rooms or just dumping mags on steel at the range, it runs. It's affordable, it's available, and it's finally safe from the rule makers. Number 7. B&T GHM9 Compact Gen 2. Alright, let's step up a tax bracket. If the CZ is the working man's truck, this next one is a Swiss watch. The GHM9 Compact from B&T has been flying under the radar for a bit, but if you know, you know. B&T is legendary for a reason. When you pick this thing up, it just feels like pure precision. It's a direct blowback 9mm, sure, but because of that hydraulic buffer system they use, it shoots incredibly soft. It's built like a tank, but handles like a sports car. Here's the thing though, it wasn't always this simple to own. For a long time, that slick telescoping brace put this gun in a legal grey zone that made local gun stores nervous. I know FFLs who wouldn't even stock it because nobody wanted to poke the bear when the ATF was breathing down everyone's necks. Then 2025 happened. With the brace rules officially rolled back, the GHM9 Compact is what it always should have been. Just a pistol. No NFA headaches. You get a buttery smooth compact 9mm that runs on widely available Glock mags and fits into a backpack. At just under £5, it handles like a dream in tight corners. If you've been eyeing a PCC that feels like it was built by aerospace engineers, the GHM9 just jumped from your maybe someday list straight to buy now. Number 6. Q Sugar Weasel. Okay. Moving on to something with a serious attitude problem. It might sound like something you'd name a pet ferret, but do not let the name fool you. The Sugar Weasel is a dead serious tool from Q, the same mad geniuses behind the honey badger. This is a stripped-down, hard-running 300 blackout machine. It's got the same DNA as the honey badger, that perfect 7-inch barrel, the adjustable gas block for tuning your suppressor, and that signature cherry bomb muzzle brake that throws fire like a dragon. The main difference? It swaps the pricey billet receiver for a more practical forged aluminium one, saving you some cash without losing the performance. For a while, the Sugar Weasel got tangled up in the brace mess just like its big brother. The ATF started treating these distinct pistols as SBRs, turning this handy little shooter into a potential felony. Most dealers stopped shipping them and Q went quiet. But with the rollback, it's back to being a pistol. Weighing under 5 pounds, this is the definition of a go-anywhere firearm. It's not cheap. You're looking at around $1,700, but you're paying for a platform designed from the ground up to be quiet, maneuverable, and reliable. It's a funny name, sure, but downrange, it's all business. Number 5. SilencerCo Maxim 9. Let's talk about suppression for a minute. Most pistols aren't really meant to be suppressed. They just kind of tolerate it. You know the drill. You buy a threaded barrel, screw on a can that's 8 inches long, fiddle with the recoil spring, and hope it cycles. Suddenly, your compact handgun is 2 feet long and front-heavy. The Maxim 9 from SilencerCo, that is a different animal entirely. This thing wasn't adapted for a suppressor. It was born with one. No threading, no guesswork. The suppressor is integrated directly into the slide and frame. It's not an afterthought bolted to the end. It is the gun. It's modular too, so you can run it short or long depending on how quiet you need to be. With subsonic 9mm, you're getting shots that won't blow out your eardrums or wake up the neighbors. But for a long time, this gun was dead in the water. Nobody wanted to wait a year for a stamp and pay the extra $200 tax just for a pistol. Most people just bought a Glock and moved on. That's all changed. Suppressor approvals are moving fast now, sometimes in just days. The Maxim 9 is back in play. For around $1,400, you're getting a hearing-safe home defense tool that fits in a holster and just works, right out of the box. Number 4. DDM4 ISR. Sticking with the integrated theme, let's look at a rifle that solves the two-stamp headache. This is the DDM4 ISR from Daniel Defense. ISR stands for Integrally Suppressed Rifle. This isn't just an AR-15 with a can screwed on, it's a system. You're looking at a 9-inch barrel with a suppressor permanently welded to it. That brings the total barrel length to a legal 16 inches. Why does that matter? Because it means this is a standard rifle, not a short-barreled rifle. You don't need a stamp for the gun, only for the suppressor itself. One stamp, one weight, and you're done. It's chambered in 300 blackout and tuned to cycle everything smoothly, whether you're feeding it light supersonic rounds or those heavy 220-grain subs. The best part is the balance. Since the suppression is internal, the weight sits further back toward your shoulder, not hanging off the muzzle. For years, guns like this were a hard sell because of the wait times and the fear of reclassification. But with the new policies, platforms like the DDM4 ISR are finally shining. If you want a dead reliable, home defense-ready suppressed rifle without doing double the paperwork, this is the answer. Number 3. Sauer MCX Rattler PCB. Okay, we're getting into the heavy hitters now. This one is for anyone who wants serious rifle caliber power in a package that folds up smaller than a distinct laptop. The SIG Rattler PCB is hands down one of the most capable urban defense platforms ever made. It chews through 300 blackout or 5.56, but it folds down to under 18 inches. That is small enough to throw in a sling bag or stash under a truck seat without anyone knowing it's there. Now, for a while, this thing lived in legal limbo. The specific brace it shipped with, SIG's pivoting contour brace, had the ATF scratching their heads. Was it a pistol? Was it an SBR? Nobody wanted to be the test case in federal court to find out, so most of us just kept it in the safe and waited. But post-2025, the new DOJ hit the reverse switch and the Rattler came roaring back. No more grey area, just one of the slickest platforms on the market. Look, it's not cheap. You're looking at close to $2,500. But what you're paying for is rock-solid reliability and a gas system that can handle anything from whisper-quiet subsonics to spicy supersonic loads without a single hiccup. If you need something that hits way harder than a handgun, but hides just as easily, the Rattler is the king of that hill. Number 2. Franklin Armory RS7. Number 2 on our list is special. Most guns play by the rules. The Franklin Armory RS7, it was designed to walk right up to the line, look the ATF dead in the eye, and dare them to blink. And guess what? The ATF blinked. The RS7 is not a rifle. It's not a shotgun. It uses a patented straight-cut barrel, no rifling twist, no smoothbore. Legally, this puts it in a category all its own, totally outside the National Firearms Act. Naturally, the ATF tried to shut it down. But here is the best part of the story. Franklin Armory fought back. They actually took the agency to court, and a federal judge ruled that the agency had overstepped its authority. The new DOJ didn't even bother to appeal. That means the RS7 is officially back, and you don't need a single tax stamp to own it. You get a 7.5-inch barrel, forged receivers, and you can even drop in a binary trigger to make things really spicy. It comes with a vertical foregrip and real stocks, and here's the kicker. Because it's not an NFA item, you can take it across state lines without asking for permission. That used to be unthinkable for something this compact. If you want a gun that earned its place by beating the government in court, this is it. Number 1. Maxim Defense PDX-SD. We've saved the absolute best for last. Some guns are compact. This one is surgical. The Maxim Defense PDX-SD is what happens when you tell a team of engineers, I need suppressed firepower that can clear a doorway and won't choke me out with gas. They built this thing from the ground up to function where other short rifles fail. It features a tiny 5.5-inch barrel tucked inside a fully integral suppressor they call the soup can. Yeah, it's that fat. But that oversized can isn't just for looks. It dramatically reduces the back pressure and gas blowback that plagues other short-barreled suppressed rifles. The result? A suppressed rifle under 24 inches long that you can actually run indoors without your eyes watering from toxic gas. It balances incredibly well, which you really appreciate when you're pieing corners in a tight space. Before 2025, getting one of these was a bureaucratic nightmare. Stamp delays and the constant threat of changing rules made people walk away. But that game is over. Approvals are moving faster than ever. At nearly $3,700, it's a serious investment, basically the price of a used car. But you're getting a duty-grade system that's ready to go, hot and quiet, right out of the box. It is the ultimate buy once, cry once firearm. So there you have it. 8 firearms that were once tied down by red tape, fear, and endless wait times. And now, they're back. We've got braced pistols you can run without looking over your shoulder, suppressed platforms you don't have to wait a year for, and rifles that beat the system in court and came out swinging. The laws didn't make these guns any better mechanically, but freedom sure did make them a lot more fun to own. If this list proves one thing, it's that when you ease the pressure, innovation comes roaring back. So, drop a comment below and let me know. Which one of these is jumping to the top of your buy list now that the coast is clear? Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.